Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. OPM officials are questioned on the furlough process of their employees. Also tonight, 2 sex offenders plead guilty in court. And we head up to Capitol Hill for an update on COVID-19 expenditures. In sports, the BUFL is about to lift off like a frisbee. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
Thank you for being here with us.
For finding ways to keep things happening.
For making things feel a lot better.
Thank you.
Energize, realize, feels so good just to be alive. Time's a gift, my time is free. I can spend it on you, you can spend it on me. I could say you'll be blown away by the change you see me. And I feel alright, dance all night, put a little flavor in my life.
Thank you for staying strong with us.
And for us.
Thank you for always connecting.
For keeping us together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding us
that despite this distance,
we are still better together.
Docomo Pacific, better together.
Jose and Pedro were born on the very same day. Jose liked to play sports. Pedro liked to play video games. Jose's favorite word was pass. Pass me the ball. Pedro's favorite word was pass too. Pass me the rice. Jose is retired and has both time and energy. His life is just beginning. Pedro has diabetes, hypertension, and gout. His life could soon end. Eat less, play more, live longer. Brought to you by PHI, the pharmacy you can trust.
Hafa Day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Wednesday, July 29th, 2020. Up on Capitol Hill, OPM officials clarify the real furlough process guidelines to lawmakers. Sally Lemus has the details.
The administration was forced to reduce its personnel costs by 50% due to a deep decline of revenues in the CNMI. More than 500 government employees were furloughed on April and are now awaiting their pandemic assistance money. But the question everyone is asking, was the furlough process performed in a proper manner? Acting Director of the Office of Personnel Management, Francis Salas, appeared before legislators on Tuesday.
We discussed in several cabinet member meetings that cabinet members need to go back to their office, look at their listing of employees, see where or how you would be able to cut staff, but be able to continue the services needed. We told them to start from the bottom, provisional status employees, probationary, limited term, etc. I cannot say that that was done because of the next thing you know, we got the listing of the furloughed staff. However, I know that we left it to the department heads to make the right decisions as to who to furlough.
Salas says OPM is currently conducting a reduction in force process, or RIF process, that may change the game.
Anticipating that revenues are not going to be where we want them to be, our Office of Personnel Management, is currently working on the RIF. We are currently doing the RIF analysis in preparation in the event that we are not able to recall these employees.
A RIF analysis determines an employee's retention points. And Salas says there could be a possibility of returning a furloughed employee who has high retention points.
The regulations also state that with RIF comes a severance pay. So again, our intention also is to bring to you all, lawmakers, the amount that will be needed to pay these employees if ever we have to implement the RIF. Where we will find the money, I do not know. But like I said, we are preparing.
During discussion, Representative Tina Sablon questioned the process of the furlough list being received by OPM.
To your knowledge, were the lists that were submitted by each department ever altered, either to add or subtract employees?
Perhaps, yes, there probably were, because when I went to OMB to do cross-check, I did notice there were some names that were added and then some names were deleted.
Salas says she does not know for sure who made the changes. Chairman of the Special House Committee on Federal Assistance and Disaster-Related Funding says these questions are paramount for their investigation.
Well, a lot of the questions that were posed by other representatives needed to be clarified, and OPM needed to be here to clarify those questions in regards to overtime, extra pay, and so forth, and that's why they were here to clarify that part. There is another request for the community disaster loan, and so a lot of these questions are being posed right now so that we can be prepared and more involved in how the funds that we are receiving from the federal government to be spent in the CNMI.
Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Lemis.
2 sex offenders have pleaded guilty in the courtroom of Judge Naraha. Renato Gaviola was caught on security cameras back in January 2020, roaming outside of a female's home in Garapan and taking her undergarments from the clothesline and returning them on many occasions. Gaviola confessed to stalking in the second degree. He also entered a plea of guilty to 2 counts of disturbing the peace. Gaviola is sentenced to 2 years in prison, all suspended except 60 days, 2 years on probation, and no contact with the victim. In a separate case, David Bamba confessed to violating the sex offender registry by living with his girlfriend and 3 kids, and also entered a plea of guilty to 2 counts of assault and battery, domestic violence, for slapping his 13-year-old stepson and slapping his girlfriend. Bamba is sentenced to 5 years, all suspended except 1, 5 years probation, and no contact with the girlfriend, stepson, or any children at all, in accordance with the sex offender registry guidelines. What is the current state of the economy in the CNMI? Members of the Governor's Council of Economic Advisors gives us an update.
COVID, our economy was roughly the size of about 1.3 billion, but 52% approximately was related to tourism. It was somehow the economic activity of half of the economic activity that existed in 2008 and most likely existed through 2019 up into COVID was predominantly tourism related. And that definitely generated a significant amount of economic activity, of government resources, of employment. The tourism sector, the accommodation sector was about 30% of total employee compensation and was only second to the CNMI government, but out of a very small margin, and has grown significantly over the past couple of years. So government and the accommodation sector are nearly neck and neck at the point pre-COVID data. And so the role of the tourism market really can be seen as the supply of dollars and the supply of money. It is our only export into the market. And so any other dollar that doesn't come from tourism is merely circulating and is slowly being drawn out by the purchase by either savings or the purchase of imported items. So if we spend the money on gasoline that's immediately out of the system, we needed a continual injection of new capital, new resources in order to start the process over again. And for the past couple of years, since the decline and the elimination of the garment industry, it really has been tourism, and to a greater and greater extent. So for that reason, the complete elimination of tourism following coronavirus outbreak was a significant and probably unprecedented impact to the CNMI economy, because for the months that it occurred, it was a complete shutout of any new dollars up into the point of stimulus and now up into the point of PUA and the unemployment assistance.
Looking ahead, Alex Sablon says Governor Torres and Chairman Jerry Tan are looking to sign up organizations in a public-private partnership that will rejuvenate tourist sites on the islands of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, so that when tourism does resume in the Sinai, the condition of this tourist destination will be in pristine condition.
Which would bring privateers and NGOs and faith-based organizations and civic business organizations and ethnic organizations that are willing to sign up and in joint effort with the government take on tour sites or villages or anywhere that they deem a need to recover and maintain.
Having an ultimate goal of reopening the Sinai with quality, not quantity. And speaking on COVID-19 recovery, the Sinai received millions of dollars to be used for the combat against coronavirus on our islands. Finance Secretary gives an update on the COVID-19 expenditures. Sally Lemus reports.
The Special Committee on Federal Assistance and Disaster-Related Funding invites Finance Secretary David Attilig to provide clarity on COVID-19 related funding. The Sinai received $36 million under the CARES Act and was put into an account exclusively for COVID-19 related activities. Attilig was also able to pull another $8 million from different agencies in the local government, which made a total of $44 million available for COVID-19 expenditures. Attilig presents a small breakdown of the funds.
I got $13.1 million in actual dollars spent out as of 7/20, but we have obligations that are still pending payment and just scheduled for payment through our payable process of another $26 million.
That leaves CNMI with a balance of $4.9 million for COVID-19 related expenditures. Representative John Paul Sablon questioned where the local funding came from.
These are sources from other agencies that I was able to communicate and have them transfer to the general fund or to the specific account for the CARES Act. For the coronavirus is $2 million from the Commonwealth Casino Commission and $6 million from CDA.
Several members raised concerns on possible programs that could have been funded by the CARES Act. Representative Ed Probst speaks on families who are struggling with rent and food, and Chairman Ralph Yumo says small businesses could have also benefited from the CARES Act. Attilig explains what the biggest concerns were.
My concern was I knew that we were spending to protect our borders, to protect our residents from this pandemic. I knew it was costly. I did see those big, large contracts and the hotels, and I always wanted to make sure that I had something for us at the Commonwealth level to reserve, so to speak, because we have to December 30 or the allowable expenditure time. And if I use it all up in May or use it up in June and and a second wave comes or something, what are we going to do? And so I've been kind of holding on to the money.
Reporting for KSPN News, I'm Sally Lemus.
Coming up, thousands of PUA applications are predicted to be approved by the end of this week. We speak with the Department of Labor after the break.
Hi, I'm Mel, a certified ophthalmic assistant here at Mariana's Eye Institute.
Dry eyes can become more prevalent as you get older. It can also be stimulated by medication or environmental conditions.
Dry eye is a very common condition. Perhaps as many as 30 to 40% of people will develop it during their lifetime. The symptoms that people have most commonly are, I've got sand in my eye. It feels like I got dirt, grit, something's in my eye. Frequently the eye will water then because of this irritation, and people then will have blurry vision from all the watering of their eyes.
Dry eyes can be diagnosed here with an eye exam and are often treated with drops to increase lubrication. If your eyes are frequently dry, it's time to seek some help.
This has been Dr. Dennis Williams of the Mariana's Eye Institute.
Welcome back to the Channel 2 News. The Department of Labor is expecting to have thousands of PUA applications approved by later this week. As more help is on board, take a listen.
We're shooting for a goal that's quite high, of at least 5,000 applications to be approved, the initial applications. And right in line with that, or right behind that, will come the weekly benefits request applications. And there's already several thousand that we've received that we will process after all the initial applications are done.
Benavente says with the new DOL hours starting this week, closing at 2 p.m., will allow for more applications to be approved on a daily basis.
We are working on about 200 pool applications every day, and we seek to increase that in the next 3 days. It is a daunting task to look at these numbers when we say we have about 7,000 in applications and our target is to finish 5,000 initial application approvals this week. What we've done is we've borrowed staff from other agencies for the Department of Labor to take on the tasks that are not needed for adjudication. For example, answering the phones, responding to emails, reviewing applications. These are new staff that have been brought on board, borrowed staff, mind you, to take on these tasks. And then we're using our pool coordinators who were hired to adjudicate, process, and actually disperse payments to do more of that. So that's why we're hoping that with more hands-on, the whole process will move along a lot faster, a lot quicker than the past few weeks.
Close to $5 million has been issued out so far for the PUA and FPUC program. Governor Torres comments on the impending changeover at Managaha Island and says he supports the return of the American Memorial Park to local control. Our Chris Nelson has more.
In regards to Managaha, there's no tourists, unfortunately, but an RFP and contract has been made, and we need to move forward on that contract. If there's an amendment that needs to be made, then obviously we'll go to the right channel. We'll go through DPL and then of course up to the AG's office and make sure he approves on those changes.
Will they pay rent while there's no tourists, or how does that, do you know how that works?
I don't know the exact details into their contract, but I assume they should be. I know that one of the biggest revenue here is obviously the landing fee, which pays for renovations and so forth. Without those landing fees, it's hard to spend money when you don't have any. But those are again a conversation that needs to be made.
Are you comfortable with this new company? Do you know much about them?
I don't know much about them. I know that I think they've been here for several years already. So I hope that that they meet their proposal. And for me, the biggest thing that I'm concerned, and we'll be on top of it, is our environmental issues here. We've never seen our lagoon disposing. Tours has done a phenomenal job in protecting Managaha and its environment, and I want to thank them for their partnership. So the new company needs to step up and make sure that our lagoon is clean, that Managaha is well maintained. I hope better. That's a tough standard to beat, but if you can meet at least Tours, we'll be more than happy. Now that there's no tourists, I hope that they can come in and make some renovations and clean up the island more, because after typhoon, and get it ready.
There's a proposal, there's some legislation proposed taking back the American Memorial Park. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think at this point it's time for us. I think that if there's a relationship there that we're able to bring back, I think that we should take it back if we're able to get it back.
It doesn't worry you it's nice to have a federal budget that pays for something. Are you unhappy with how that federal budget has been spent?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm happy or dissatisfied about how that's spent over there. I just know that, even the challenges that we have here, if we're able to get back the American Memorial Park, it'll be part of us again as the Marianas.
So it's legislation you support?
I do support that.
Thank you, Chris. I can see it's very windy up there at the Peace Park. All right, coming up, a scientific explanation for the lack of marlin at this year's Derby. KSPN2 Sports next.
We are with you. At times when you need us most, you can count on us to be there. When you need someone to talk to. When you need to stay informed. When you need to brighten your day. When you need to stay connected. We are here keeping our promise that while the world is changing, we keep working so you can keep connecting. We are your Docomo Pacific family, and we are here to help.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, NFL, NBA, MLB, move over. Here comes the BUFL. The Beach Ultimate Frisbee League launches like a Frisbee tomorrow at the Fiesta Resort and Spa and Beachatorium. Trey Dunn is the mastermind of this movement.
Yeah, we got a Beach Ultimate Frisbee League going on over at Fiesta Beach on Thursday afternoon. We got 4 teams set up. We're going to have a round robin where each team plays one of the other teams each week, and then after 3 weeks we'll have a ranking system and we'll do semis. So first will play fourth and second will play third, and then the winner of those games will play in the finals the following week.
The league has 4 teams with the quite creative names of blue, red, green, and white.
If somebody wants to sign up, they can check us out on Facebook, Saipan Ultimate. There's a Google form there. You can just fill out that Google form.
You got your own website?
I have Facebook and the Google form.
That counts.
Yeah.
Ultimate Frisbee, for its devotees, is the coolest game around. Low cost, chill, feel good, mostly low contact, that originated in New Jersey in the late 60s. Did you know the first Ultimate college game was played at the same site where the first college football game was played? In 1869, Rutgers beat Princeton by 2 points in the first college football game, and later, exactly 103 years later, Rutgers beat Princeton, also by 2 points, in a parking lot that had been paved over the football field. Paved over paradise. All right, if anyone asked me to make a short list of best things on Saipan, the annual fishing derby would surely be on it. On a 92-degree blistering Saturday, hopeful anglers gathered at Smiling Cove Marina in search of Pacific blue marlin. But first things first.
Waiting for the ice. There's no ice. There's no ice. They're waiting.
Calling for more ice. We need more ice. Ice. People hadn't even finished their first cup of coffee, but others had.
Well, the reason I'm late is because I had my coffee.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Paul. Hey, G. Good morning. Morning.
I like that dance you're doing.
The crew of the Kingfisher was ready to dance. Yeah, they raced out second that morning. Others followed the wake law.
Thank you for respecting the laws on the speed limit.
It's by law.
That's by law. All those guys out there are lawbreakers. They went too fast.
56 boats were shut out in the billfish category. In fact, these guys caught more fish than many of the boats. Some boats had more flags than fish.
Morning, Kurt.
You guys got the best flags. Congratulations.
I'm the father. Morning, sir.
Let's hope justice prevails. Good luck.
Tinian. A rainbow popped over the marina, wishing all the captains and crews the best. But those wishes only came true for Pete Sablon and his crew.
You know, you just got to be lucky, you know? You just got to be lucky in the right place at the right time.
You were, man. You're a lucky guy, Pete.
We're lucky, man.
58 boats went out and only 2 marlin came in. On that day, it was easier to get hooked on Jesus than hook a marlin. Onlookers had their cookouts ready, huddling wherever shade was available. Stay cool. Try to stay cool at all times. That's always good advice. If you wanted fish, you had to bring it yourself.
Any fish on there? Hi. Where's the fish?
Fish.
No more.
Oh, you ate it? Hi. Hello. You guys got fish in here?
Yes.
Okay, let's see what kind of fish you got. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got reef fish. Reef fish. Well, some people like reef fish better. There you go. Oh, parrot. There you go. That's what I was looking for. That's nice. There you go. Stuffing it with mayonnaise?
Yep.
Now you're talking. You gonna put that on the fire?
Yep.
Where'd you get it?
I don't know, I'm just helping them fix it.
Oh, it's not your fish?
Yeah.
You're just a helper? Or you're doing a helping good job?
Yeah.
Turns out there was a simple and obvious reason for the lack of fish on that day.
What's going on here, boss?
You tell me!
Huh?
What's the real deal? Tell me!
Tell me. With this pandemic going on now, we wanna party.
Where's all the fish anyway?
They're all from the pandemic thing.
They got the COVID too?
Yeah, man.
You're saying that the fish have been quarantined?
Yeah.
Oh no!
You know what? You know why?
Is that why there's no fish this year?
Yeah.
Because they were quarantined.
I know. Really, it is.
So now we know why fishermen struggled to bring in the fish at the 36th annual Billfish Tournament. They were quarantined. As the day comes to a close and we walk away, only one question remains.
Get that ball.
Yes, I did. Thank you. You're very sweet and kind. Have a good day. Good luck.
Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw.
There it is, the rain. It was 89 degrees before that rain fell. Below 79 during that rain. Heat index 100, humidity 90% tomorrow. Partly cloudy, isolated showers, southeast winds, that's significant. 5 to 15 miles an hour. High 89, low 80, seas 3 to 5 feet. Sunrise at 1 minute before 6. Low tide at 10:22, high tide at 5:36, sunset at 6:47. That is your midweek edition of the KSPN2 News, Sports, and Weather. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here on Friday.